Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's really happening in the real estate market, which is a little bit different than what you're seeing in the media. I'm going to tell you where you can get the best deals in the city, and I'm going to tell you how long it takes on average to sell a home here and give you a little bit of hint on the pricing. Okay, so let's get into it. This is a quick video. I just want to highlight some things for you since this data is nice and new. If you look around the area, you're going to see a lot more homes are coming on the market. A lot of your policymakers and a lot of your media are saying that the market is very much improving. Now, I can tell you some stats that do show that the market is improving. For example, the average sales volume is now up 44% versus last October, basically meaning that the number of houses selling is a lot bigger. So that's good. We've seen an increase in listings of just over 4%. And we've seen the average price go up about 1% to 1.135 million in the Greater Toronto area. What's kind of interesting, though, is that the market is starting to tighten up for us. There are a lot of buyers kind of still sitting on the sidelines, but there is a lot of room for buyers right now in the market. One really big challenge right now is the condo market. The condo market is a gigantic mess. As we've seen in the last couple of years, we don't have anybody, foreign buyers are not allowed to come into Canada and buy the properties right now. They were buying a lot of the homes downtown, a lot of the condos downtown Toronto. They're not allowed to do that anymore. You've also seen interest rates go way up, which means that investors are not able to hang on to their condos anymore. And I can tell you that if pre-construction is causing a lot of problems. So I know somebody, for example, that bought pre-construction over in Distillery District, which seemed like an amazing opportunity at the time. The problem is when they closed, they had to close at the condo is worth about $150,000 less than it was when they bought in pre-construction a couple of years ago. So now they're trying to sell it. And what's happening is you're seeing a lot of people trying to unload condos for a lot less money than they paid for them in pre-construction. So the average price of a condo has actually gone down quite a bit. However, believe it or not, the sales of condo, like the actual volume is up about 32% versus last year. So if you're thinking of getting into the condo market, that could be a really great time for you to do that right now. So what's going to happen with all of these crazy things happening with homes renewing? So we know about 60% of our mortgages are coming up for renewal next year, and that represents about 4 million people. As you've seen, the government is in complete panic mode over this, and they're trying to do things to make sure that we don't have a huge amount of home buyers not being able to renew their home. You probably will see some. A lot of people are even throwing things out there like, is this Canada's 2008? Well, we're definitely seeing some pressure on people. There are a lot of people carrying way higher mortgages than they were planning to because they bought them for 1% or 2% during the pandemic. So you're going to see a lot of those coming back potentially onto the market. Although I think the government's trying to do anything they can. Now, I'm going to talk about this in another video, but right now, believe it or not, the Bank of Canada is really mad at the government for their recent policy changes because they think it's going to cause us a couple of problems down the road. Okay, so we're going to come back to that. But what I'm going to tell you right now is what's happening in our area. Okay, so in the city of Toronto, the average price is 1.165 million. Now, what's interesting is if you want to go west or east, the prices go a lot lower. So the west end of the city is just over a million, as is the east end, whereas central is still sitting at almost $3 million for an average home. What's also interesting is the months of inventory. The West End is a little bit lower, downtown is higher. So your central inventory is sitting at almost 5 months. During 2020 and all that, we know the inventory was down to 1 month. Now we're up to 5 months of inventory, again, saying you could get a condo. But of course, what's also happening is you've got a couple of pocket neighborhoods in the central area that are worth a lot of money. One of them where the average home is worth like almost $2.5 million. Okay, so here's a secret. If you would like to get into the market for like $700,000 or $800,000, don't go west of the city, go east of the city. In the Durham region, they have the least expensive prices in the GTA. Oshawa and some of the small towns around there, you can get in for more like 700,000 for an average priced home. So there's a little tip for you. And of course, if you want to come back to the city, it's always good just to buy those houses, build your equity, and at least you've got something to kind of show for your money. So think about going out to those Durham kind of regions for that. Now, if you're a person who lives in Roncesvalles, we actually in Roncesvalles haven't had that many homes sell, believe it or not. And the price is a little higher than average. In the city, it's 1.395. It's also probably driven by the bigger detached homes. They're selling for just about market price. So if you look at a home in Roncesvalles and you want to buy it, it's going to sell for about what it's listed at. And we're sitting at 3 months of inventory. So there's room for buyers. If you go into kind of that Mimico Alderwood area, which I also sell in, you're going to be at about 969,000 average. And that's because there's a lot of those kind of 2, 3 bedroom kind of wartime homes. They have beautiful lots, guys, beautiful lots. But the homes tend to be a little smaller in a lot of those, unless, of course, they've been rebuilt. And they're sitting at about 4.3 months of inventory. Um, so also, if you think about Central, though, back to that where they have 5 months of inventory, so less, like a lot more condos building up on the market downtown. So go west or go east if you want to get a little bit of a better price. And then I'll just kind of go over those kind of detached and whatnot. So if you want a detached home in the 416 area code, it's $1.778 million. A semi is $1.315 million. A townhome is just over a million. And your condo is 721,000. No, just another little tip. The condos have come down in price in Toronto, but they're coming down even more outside. So in kind of Peel region, those regions, the condos price has dropped like $100,000. And they've dropped, the sales volume is down there too. So a condo in average is like $637,000 out in kind of the Peel region. Okay, so there's kind of just a quick overview for you. I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on with these government changes. But if you're thinking of buying or selling, pros to buying right now are that the prices are still pretty stable. There's a bit more inventory. My suggestion, of course, always talk to your broker, but my quick suggestion would be to just get a variable rate right now and then lock in your price in the spring. If you wait until the spring, you'll probably have more choice. More people will probably put their home on the market. However, you might see the prices start to go up. There's a lot of debate on this. But if you have any questions, I would love to chat with you about them. Right now, I'm working on a whole pile of like super complicated deals. Got lots of information for you and a couple of commercial deals. So please reach out to me with all of your questions and I'd be happy to answer them. I will even make you a little video with the answer and do some research for you. Okay, again, my name is Marcy Verberg. I'm based here in Toronto, do a lot of commercial and residential. Thanks for your time.